Well, this ain't gonna be pretty. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. But today we're going to talk about this PARTYNEXTDOOR album called P3. PARTYNEXTDOOR is an artist from out of Ontario, Canada, who is signed to Drake's OVO sound label, and I've never really been a big fan of what I've heard from him as far as his features go, so I've never gone out of my way to check out a full project of his. And if this is what a full P&D project sounds like, please let me know, because I thought this was really bad, but if his other projects are better, I'll give it a fair chance and I'll go back and listen to them. But this shit right here is easily some of the worst music I've heard this year. First of all, it starts off with the 7-minute snooze fest, High Hopes. It actually kind of reminds me of how Drake started his last album, Views, with that long, drawn-out track. And if you can make it through all 7 minutes of this without getting bored or turning it off, you deserve a goddamn medal, and you should be at Rio right now competing in the Olympics for listening through boring-ass songs. And on this track, we also get introduced to some of the awful lyricism on here, when he says a line about how he's not going to call the feds because he's going to tap that ass. That is just the tip of the iceberg, and there are way worse lyrics on here, including a line where he says a girl's a criminal because she stole the little piece of mind he has. Another line where he goes on to say something about a girl on Instagram who's acting out, she's going ham, but she's a vegan. And the all-time worst line of all time on this project, possibly of the year, it just... oh man, this shit just made me cringe so bad when I heard this, when he said, "I ain't looking for a boo, ain't no Ghostbuster." How the hell did he write that down, record it in front of other people in a studio, put it on the album, put it out for everyone to hear? I don't understand how no one could say something to him and say how bad that shit is. It actually made me cringe. I had to pause, stop, reflect on my life. It's just... man, I don't know why the songwriting is so bad throughout this project, because he's written a bunch of hits. As we all know, he's worked with Rihanna, Drake, and just a bunch of other people, but there's not many hits that you're going to find on here, if any. And another problem I have with this one is that there's a severe lack of variation with the production. You do get that One Dance knockoff called Not Nice. It is just the great value version of One Dance. There's a reggae-infused track called Only You, and maybe a couple other songs that are a bit different, but for the most part, there's very little variation. You know how some people say they like Drake when he raps, but not when he sings so slow and boring over that dull R&B production? Well, that's what a lot of this album sounds like, except even worse. And actually, I think the song featuring Drake on here, called Come and See Me, is one of the better songs on this project, but that's still not saying very much, because it's just a soft and sensual R&B track that isn't really doing anything that's different. But to be fair, if you love R&B, you absolutely love it, and that's all you listen to, you might be able to find some good moments with the production here. Even though it's not very varied, there are some smooth moments, but even vocally, I can't really give him a whole lot of praise here. I don't know if people consider PARTYNEXTDOOR to be a great singer. Maybe I haven't heard the right tracks, but I found his voice to be pretty shaky and all over the place on some of these songs, including on the song Spiteful and also Transparency. You might find a couple moments here and there where his voice sounds alright, but I wasn't listening to this and going, wow, this guy has a great voice. He's really hitting those notes. He's fantastic. In fact, I wasn't a big fan of this project at all, which obviously you can probably guess by now based on everything I said, but there's just too much stuff on here that I didn't like. And a lot of this album just really comes across as dull, boring, lazy. I mean, another thing I didn't like on here was those drums on Nothing Easy to Please. It sounds like someone's first attempt at programming drums. There's just stuff all over this project that didn't sit right with me. I think it's one of the worst things I've heard all year, and I give it a 1.5 out of 5, man. I almost went with a 2, but I've reviewed a lot of projects that I don't like, including that Lil Yachty one, Summer Songs 2, just to throw you one example. But even with that, I found something kind of interesting about it, or something different, or something unique, or something that I could praise. But with this one, there's really not much that's here, man. I think Drake must have took all the good songs from PARTYNEXTDOOR for his album, although based on what a lot of people are saying about Views, that one wasn't really enjoyed too much, although it did crazy numbers, so there's that too. But I'm just talking about critical acclaim and just some of the discussions I've had. Views was not really seen as a great album, and I don't think this one will be either. This one to me is terrible, but check it out for yourself and then let me know what you think. And make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man, where you like my videos, you share them, you follow me on Twitter, you retweet the videos, and you especially gotta subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.